You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
No, Alex
Happy
Ransom's birthday's not today.
birthday,
No.
dear Adam. Happy birthday to you.
And many
You're
more.
my best friend.
Okay, so you've heard it. The song has been sung. The Glock has been loaded.
Oh no, I have to
Everybody
go.
enjoy your last night of listening to the legend on the Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast. Because after tonight, we have a beef roast. And no, we're not going to make tons of jokes at his expense. We're going to roast him over an open flame, and I'm going to pick the gristly gristle off of his bones, rub them between my teeth, and spat them upon the feet that he used to have.
We
It's
had
time
a
for the
plan,
Pittsburgh, shut up! It's time
We
for
had
the
a
Pittsburgh
plan,
Piledriver podcast.
and Poot
I'm so
jumped out
pissed.
on me.
I'm
That
so
bastard.
pissed. You're the worst. It's Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast time. I fucking hate you both. I hope you die of gangrene and
Gangrel.
gout and gangrel. I hope he sucks your blood. It's Royal Rumble stupid showtime. I'm throwing an entire thing of pretzels into the wall. I'm so mad.
Dude,
We're gonna talk
dude,
Royal
you fucking
Rumble.
sold me
We're
out.
gonna
You sold me out for a
We're gonna
houseboat.
fucking interrupt each other all goddamn night because that's the way it started out. Fucking amateur idiots don't know how to do shit on a podcast. But we're gonna roll through it, and I can't wait until the fourth one joins because it's gonna be utter fucking chaos. So let's talk Rumble. Let's talk pissiness. Let's do some picks, and it'll probably be in that order. Before we go into that order, I don't give a shit about the sponsors right now. I'm so mad. So they can suck it and wait to the end. What are you gonna do? Not pay us? I'm so scared. So if you guys didn't happen to catch this article on the internets, somebody asked Jonathan Coachman recently if he was going to be showing up at, God, I'm so out of breath. Somebody asked Jonathan Coachman, somebody asked the coach if he's going to be showing up at the Royal Rumble. And he replied with, I will never go back to the WWE. Somebody then says to the coach, you got some beef? Is there some heat? What's going on here? And the coach replied with, no, I'm just having fun doing what I am doing now. And want to work for companies where respect goes both ways. And I'm doing that now. That's it. So, look, we have talked several times about, and we'll move into Rumble stuff very quick. This is going to be a long discussion. But this, I feel, just validates some of the discussions that we've had about how WWE doesn't give a shit about some talent. I think they clearly care about some because they're the moneymakers. They're going to keep the moneymakers happy. But other employees, it seems like they don't really treat with a whole lot of respect. And that's a callback to the whole, Lita, you're going to do a live sex celebration or you're fired. Do you boys believe in that as well? Or do you think this is a little bit off?
Well, okay. So, number one, good for Coachman for standing up for that. Seriously, good for him. Good for him, like, not going, okay, I don't want to possibly burn that bridge. Good for him for, like, being honest and telling the truth about how he feels and his situation. Like, and for really about the possibility of coming back, even just being there. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. I really do. And I think it does lend some credence to the idea that a lot of these people who used to work for WWE have moved on to other careers or have moved on to other wrestling organizations are starting to just be like, you know what? Screw them. Like, just being like, fuck it. I don't care what Vince McMahon thinks. I don't care what any of them think. I am just going to do my thing and I'm going to tell it like it is. And I'm going to kind of expose and validate what people have been saying about the company for years. Because if it can lead to even greater change in WWE, which WWE constantly, and I was talking to a buddy of mine who was stopped up to pick up his guitars I was working on. And he's a big wrestling fan. And he agreed with me with this statement. I know I've said it before to you two, that WWE is constantly on the precipice of something really fantastic, of like good storylines, good use of wrestlers, good everything, and making it feel like instead of going, all right, it's time to watch Raw and SmackDown. Okay, it's time for this. Okay, it's time for that. Being like, oh man, it's Monday. It's time for Raw. You know what I mean? Like, they're so close all the time, but they never pull the trigger. They load the clip, they put it in, they rack it, and they get ready, and then they go,
Magazine.
yeah, the magazine. Sorry. They load them. They do all those things, but then they aim right at the bullseye. They're dialed in, and then they go, you know what? I'm not feeling this today, and they go home and they decide to smash their hands with a hammer instead. Like, you know,
Sometimes you hit a nail, sometimes you hit a baby.
wow.
Here's the thing. All right, and I mean, I am going to talk about Coachman and all that, but like, who's the fucking trepid reporter that goes out and is like, I need to know if Jonathan Coachman's going to be in this year's Royal Rumble out of every other fucking ex-wrestler in the world, or potential free agents, or NXT guys, or even AEW or Impact guys, out of every other motherfucking person with a wrestling card in the world. Why do you go to Jonathan Coachman and be like, so Coachman, you going to be in the Rumble this year? I understand that he's been in 2 of them. He did very poorly. He was an announcer for a while. He was okay at that. But, I mean, Christ, you know, fucking slow news day. But that notwithstanding,
Jeez.
you know, Coachman's remarks don't. Well, actually, you know what? They shocked me a little bit because Coachman left to go to ESPN, bigger and brighter pastures. ESPN used him for a little bit. The whole coach vibe didn't go over because on ESPN, you don't have a gimmick unless you're Lee Corso wearing a college headgear every Saturday morning.
Oh.
You don't have a fucking gimmick. You're just a guy who calls games. So like the coach, I think a lot of his style really came from the fact that he was, you know, he called himself the coach. That was kind of his thing. When you remove the layer of that gimmick, I don't think there was much left to him. But all that being said, when ESPN kind of tossed him away, he came back to WWE, if you guys remember, there for a while on Raw. He was basically the main play-by-play guy on Raw. He was there whenever Dio Madden was there, and I forget the third member of that team. It was the King. That basically completely imploded upon itself. So, like, I'm a little shocked that he gave that kind of shade, but at the same time, it may be sour grapes because I'm sure that run as him as commentator probably didn't end like he wanted it to. If you remember, they really scrambled up the commentary real roughly after Graves and Michael Cole left. They went through many different packages and like teams. So like I'm sure that was not his plan. So maybe it's a little bit of sour grapes, but I'm, you know, even so, like Coach has always been very professional. So I'm kind of shocked that he did it. But I'm not shocked that he's probably not wrong.
Hey, so I'm done talking about the coach. There's really no more that we can honestly say about it.
Yeah, that was
because
that.
he's the
No,
coach.
yeah.
So it's freaking a few days before what's no doubtably going to be probably one of the most let-downy WWE Royal Rumbles ever, because it's 2021 and why the hell not?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we had the most unique WrestleMania in history last year. And yeah, Triple H kind of riffed on it a little bit here. I think it was this week or last week, and talked about how it really didn't feel like WrestleMania. But I don't feel that way about the Royal Rumble, though. I still, because last year when it was WrestleMania, I was like, it doesn't feel like WrestleMania. this at least feels like it's Royal Rumble season. You know, like I know it's Thunderdome, and I know it's not going to be the same, and I get all that. But I mean, even still, I am honest to God shocked that they didn't, because it looks like they can just like remove parts of the Thunderdome part and parcel. And they're in a baseball stadium, which is what they've done for Rumbles the last couple of years.
Right.
I'm shocked that they didn't like open it up because, you know, Jacksonville, that's where the AEW is. They've been having fans the last like 3 or 4 months. Like, so I'm a little shocked that they didn't jump on that, to be honest with you.
It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me.
Other than ego, that's exactly what it is. Because I read that Vince. Well, that quote-unquote the WWE, a.k.a. Vince McMahon, felt like they have too much invested in Thunderdome, that, like, the rigging and everything was too much of a pain to move, which, by the way, yeah, this is a company that would do a different town 5 days out of 7 and have teams that would roll mats and fucking staging areas every single night. And you're telling me that it's too much work to move that stuff to kind of bring in the ambiance of Tropicana Field? I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think it's pure ego, because Vince is like, this is my creation and I'm proud of it, and by God, we don't need fans. We have the Thunderdome.
And that's a really scary prospect, because I could see Vince McMahon being like, because we came up with this idea, now all of a sudden this is what we're going to do from here on out.
This is the way.
This is the way.
It is an absurd idea when you think about it as that being the excuse that they gave. Well, it'll be so much hassle to have to move parts of the Thunderdome. And like you said, Beef, you would move an entire Raw stage, ring, announcers stuff, everything backstage, cables, wires, microphones, lights, overhead gear above the ring lights, all that stuff, from town to town, 5 days a week. You coordinated that just fine. Did you really lay off that many employees from COVID that you can't take away a few sections of Thunderdome here and there to piddle in a crowd? It seems like a very flimsy excuse.
Honestly, I think that Vince McMahon has found the COVID business model that works for WWE. And, you know, in these trying times, you know, no one business model is correct. You have to and I'm not a fucking businessman, so don't, you know, business.
What?
But, you know, you have to find what works for you, your clientele, and how you know, scuffing off the top to make sure that your business continues to profit. You know, WWE, go ahead.
Oh, shoot.
All right. So WWE.
Hang on.
Okay.
You go ahead. I know.
I'm holding on to going ahead. Damn it,
what's happening.
All right. So
you're both the worst.
So WWE has notoriously had some money issues the last couple of years.
Oh, really?
Because we know that, you know, because the Fox deal and the Saudi deal have absolutely bailed them out. Otherwise, they'd be fucking hemorrhaging money.
That Saudi deal didn't pop.
Now Vince McMahon is like, well, hell, I can get by without a road crew. I can get by with doing the bare fucking minimum. And, you know, the ratings didn't go down that terribly. Why the fuck not? Plus, you know that if they had to open up the arena to bring in people like concessions, like event staff, even the fucking like aisle sweepers, you know, that Tropicana Field will be like, hey, WWE, like, we're not making any fucking money here. You guys got to foot the bill. So I understand it, but I mean, man, like, Florida is the fucking place where people go to, like, get around COVID stipulations. Like, that, you know, if you watch, and I mean, you know, I don't know how much of our fan base watches football, but most of the football games in Southern Florida were very, very heavily attended.
Yep.
They're going to have 22,000 people at the Super Bowl, which means they're probably going to have 25,000+ at WrestleMania in the same stadium 2 months later. I just don't understand why they're not going for it, especially whenever they see AEW getting, 1,000 to 2,000 at least in a 15,000 seat stadium. They could fit handsomely more than that in Tropicana Field. I don't get it. It's got to be ego.
I remember what I was going to say, and you know what? I'm glad you derailed me there for a second, because your ending floats right into what my point is: ego. I think you are hitting the head on the nail. Wait.
Yeah.
What?
Because I think another part of it is, now again, I don't know. I speculate, and a lot of our discussions here are speculation because we don't know shit. But from all the reports that you've heard, how pissy did Vince McMahon get when various crowds before COVID would hijack a show?
Mm-hmm.
With bullshit chants.
What?
They booed the wrong person. They cheered the wrong person. They chanted for JBL.
It's funny.
They would derail a show whenever something was happening that they didn't like.
It's funny that
now Vince McMahon learned the cues of when to come in. Now Vince
Don't
McMahon
pause so long.
has all the control on what people hear. He has all the control on when fans cheer, when fans boo. He can pipe all that in. Who the hell knows if what we hear is legit coming from whoever is watching this in the Thunderdome? It really could be pre-recorded audio of cheers and boos. Vince now has 100% control, because when Goldberg marches his old, unsafe, stupid ass out there, you're not going to hear boos. You're going to hear cheers and chants for Goldberg. I guarantee you, if that was a stadium full of people, you would probably hear a lot of boos. Vince now controls all of that. And that has to be one of the biggest ego boosts ever. Finally, I have 100% control. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. It's funny
You're
that
welcome.
you mentioned. It's funny that you mentioned that.
Is it?
All right. Did I disconnect? Oh no, you're still here.
No, you're still here.
Everybody's just being
Pretty
butthurt.
grumpy.
Go ahead, Poot.
Okay, cool. So it's funny that you mentioned. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I was watching the 2014 Rumble, and Pittsburgh took over. Like, they took over. They were so mad when Rey Mysterio came out at 30. Oh my God. Do you remember? I remember watching that Rumble with you, Beef.
Yeah.
And we kept going Daniel Bryan, and Pittsburgh is just going, they're going and they're watching every single one from, I think, like number 19 on. Every time the countdown started, the whole crowd stood up and looked down because they were just waiting for Daniel Bryan. And it didn't matter who came out. It didn't matter who came out at that late in the game. If it wasn't Daniel Bryan, they were not cheering. It was crickets. And
I actually just watched 2017, 14. Literally about an hour ago. It's funny. Let me pause you here real quick. There's a little ebb and flow that you can sense with the crowd, because at one point the crowd is like, okay, we're not getting Bryan. We're pissed, but at least we got CM Punk and he's gone. Okay, well, we're not getting Bryan or Punk, but maybe Roman Reigns and he's gone. Like, that was that was the bow breaker, man. When Batista, the guy that everybody knew is in Triple H's, butt buddy back pocket, everybody and like, the fucking writing was on the wall. Like, Batista has a big movie coming out in the summer. He's gonna come back and win the title, shake the hands, kiss the babies. I'm the champion. So you go see my movie, and people were not having it. Like, the ebbs and the flows of the last 15 minutes of that match are outstanding.
Oh my God, it really was just something to behold, and it really reinforces Ransom's point. It really does. Like, now they don't have to worry about any of that. None of it.
Nope.
Bagel. Like, it is just it's just whatever they want, and it's how they want it, and it's done. The end. And that is, to be perfectly honest with you, that's a little scary, because that brings up the idea of now, because this has become such the norm over almost a year. By the way, a year. Are people going to start becoming conditioned to this idea because they're hearing on programming? Unless you're staying cognitive of it, you're gonna start like kind of leaning with that because you hear
No
it. So
way.
not us.
You wait until WrestleMania. There's going to be 25,000 wrestling fans that cannot wait. That's going to be the hottest crowd you've ever heard. WrestleMania 37. Is that 37 this year or 38? I don't even remember. Super Bowl Saturday? You wait until that day. Like, they're going to be the hottest crowd, and they're going to boo and cheer as they see fit. And I believe that WWE is going to let them go because it's going to make for fantastic television.
I think honestly.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it's going to it's going to undo everything, and McMahon's going to get pissed. I really do.
See that.
It'll stick in his craw, and then all of a sudden, he's going to find some reason to go back to the Thunderdome.
No chance.
I honestly don't. I think you'll see crowds at WrestleMania, and then I don't know what to think, but it wouldn't surprise me if after WrestleMania, it went back to strictly Thunderdome until there's a next big pay-per-view. It wouldn't surprise me, and I think Poot might have a point there. I think it might all depend on how this crowd behaves, because I don't think Poot is wrong. I think he's right. If the crowd misbehaves in Vince McMahon's eyes, well, Vince McMahon loves nothing more than to lay down punishments when he feels somebody has done something that he doesn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And, this freaking psychopath, I'm willing to bet that when the crowd shits all over something that Vince doesn't want them to shit on, he's going to freak out. He's going to freak out and get real mad. And, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, I told you they weren't going to misbehave. I told you they weren't going to be. He's going to have a big huffy puffy. And I also agree with Poot on the conditioning. I think the smarks, I think it goes in two complete opposite directions. I think the people who aren't smart to the business, I think people who aren't smart marks, they could be conditioned to go, oh, Goldberg, yay. Okay, that it feels okay. Everybody else is yaying, so I'm gonna yay. Yay, yeah.
Yeah, all right. And then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, Goldberg, yeah.
Yeah, but I think you'll see a very separate path taken by the smarks. I think you'll see the conditioning go the complete opposite route. They'll get more blustery and more furious. They'll be louder in their disdain because they're seeing WWE trying to pump in all of this bullshit. They'll see other people buying into the bullshit. They'll be like, why are all of you people cheering for Goldberg? You should know better. And they're going to get louder in their hatred. I think it splits dramatically in two different ways.
So before we get into Rumble talk, because I do want to jump in and talk about the history and this year and whole thing, I want to review some comments that Goldberg made on After the Bell, but with Corey Gray. I'm not your journalist. I don't wear a newsman fedora like Poot, so and don't go looking for it. I'm just going to paraphrase because that's good enough. Goldberg has talked a lot about the negative reception that he's been getting from fans, and his general point was, get over it. I'm still relevant, and I can still do it. He thought to himself. He says I hope this is the direct quote. I hope karma comes back to bite them. on the young wrestlers criticizing the old guys coming back. He said, "When legends, when legends, and this is a direct quote. When legends came in, when I was in the business in the beginning, I was greatly appreciative of the eyes they brought to our product, which is a fucking smoke show. That's not fucking true at all. And one day, kids are going to be in the position like me, and I hope that karma comes back to bite them in the ass. That's all I can say." You know what?
Oh, he's so bitter.
Bill Goldberg didn't know a fucking legend in 1998. He probably could have walked past Jake the Snake or the Honky Tonk Man or Bruce Pritchard and not had any idea who the fuck he was passing in the hallway.
Right.
Bullshit. Bull fucking shit, Bill Goldberg. Oh, well, we always appreciate the legends. No, you know why you appreciate the legends? Because they were the ones that were laying on their fucking backs for you, Bill.
Yep.
That's why you appreciated them. Because fucking Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the biggest mark for himself in the industry, decided he saw fit to lose to you clean. I'm telling you, man, like, he is so delusional. And he talked about the quote the Undertaker said about the new locker room and the locker room being soft versus when they were there. And I'm telling you, man, like, if you're trying to endear yourself to the people who are absolutely screaming bloody murder for you to get your ass fired, that's not the way to do it.
You're absolutely right. And also commenting on the Undertaker, really quick, and I don't want to take a tangent off to what the Undertaker said. The Undertaker, like, to just go off that, when he said the locker room was soft, everyone thought immediately that he was talking about the in-ring product. No. And what he meant, and that's the thing, is, like, I think it was Xavier Woods made a comment on it. He made a comment on Twitter, and it wasn't like beleaguering the Undertaker, but it was saying, you know, how much more intense and athletic they are in the ring. That's true. But what Undertaker was saying is that now everyone sits backstage, isn't, you know, snorting a pile of coke and carrying a gun around in their bag. Oh no, what a terrible thing. Everyone's so soft because they're not worried about one of the other boys stealing their stuff or murdering them, like what happened to Bruiser Brody. Oh, what a terrible thing that is. And going back to Goldberg, him saying that stuff, it's because he is not only trying to endear himself, like Beef said, but the person he's trying to endear himself to is Vince McMahon, because Vince McMahon still thinks that it's nice to bring these legends back and the old guard back for a pop once in a while. It's nice. It's nice to see it. But
real quick, do you think that he's working us? Because that may be something. I think Bill Goldberg might be working the smarks, and because I gotta believe that he's not a fucking idiot, and he knows the shitstorm that he's adding more shit to.
But that's the thing.
Really?
Maybe. I mean, maybe not. Maybe he is a big dumb oaf who doesn't fucking know his ass from the hole in the ground. But I mean,
Beef, I think it's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. I think it's Bill Goldberg stirring up people who make the loudest noise, because anyone who protests his opinion or his thing is probably has that opinion of, like, tough, you know, you're a snowflake, toughen up, or, oh yeah, okay, well, whatever you say, I'm actually in the business. You have not been relevant in the business in God knows how long. When you came back for your thing, sure, the common fan popped for you, but everyone who is like a diehard wrestling fan went, fuck. Especially, and there was a time when he came back, I will admit this, when he first came back, I went, okay, Bill Goldberg's looking good. He looks like he's in shape. 3 minutes into his first match, even after, well, not even 3 minutes, it was 2 minutes, because it was Spear Jackhammer Magoo. That's what it was. And even after that, he's sweating, he's breathing heavy, he's turning slightly red, he's blown up. After just doing a spear and a jackhammer, because he's not working on the things that are important. If you actually want to prove us wrong, like Brock Lobster did, and by the end of his run there, yeah, we were like, okay, you know, Brock gets the belt again, whatever, this, that, and the other thing. Brock actually put in the work, and by the end of it, he was putting on decent matches. He brought it up. And we kind of went, all right, Cool. Good job. Good job, Lesnar. But Goldberg's not doing that. He's riding his name. He's riding the money that they're giving him, and then he'll go away after Mania.
Yep. And the last thing I want to say about Goldberg, and this is the thing that potentially scares me the most about this year's Royal Rumble, because I truly believe that no matter what happens in this entire event, the one wrong person, and you know who I'm talking about, the one wrong person comes out and wins that men's Royal Rumble, that will tank the entire event for me, because I'll be left with nothing but vitriol and bile taste in my mouth.
So,
and I say that just because I can't remember who posted the article in the group chat. It was one of you guys.
Yeah, it was me. It was me, and I'll mention that here in a minute. Go ahead.
So it was you talk about it because you posted, right. So you know. Wasn't it a WWE insider that said, there's a plan that scares the hell out of them?
Yes. Yep. People know.
I have to assume that they're referring to Goldberg winning the Rumble.
There's no other possibility.
Oh yeah.
There's really, I mean, other than maybe the Undertaker winning it. So here's what I'm thinking. So first of all, I want to say I'm thankful Goldberg came back because it took heat off of Lesnar. I've been a Lesnar guy for years, and I think he'd been getting undue criticism for years. Do I like the fact that he takes the belt and disappears for 6 months? No. But when he comes back, it feels like a bigger fucking deal, like UFC. Goldberg coming back immediately took all of the minor inconveniences that we had with Lesnar and immediately made them major inconveniences with Bill Goldberg. So I'm thankful he came back to take the heat off of Lesnar. The article, was, I don't know if you call it a leak, but it's a WWE insider that says that there is one plan in the mix, that they're finalizing their Royal Rumble plans this week, as they do. Because, WrestleMania is not planned for fucking 6 months ago or whatever, because that'd be so fucking stupid. But, yeah, and I get it, long-term planning is difficult because you never know who's going to get injured, but I digress. That scares the hell out of a lot of people in the back. I gotta believe that plan is Goldberg walking in, beating McIntyre for the belt, coming in at number 29 or 30 in the Rumble, winning the Rumble to challenge Roman Reigns. I gotta believe
that is worse than what I thought.
Yes,
oh no!
And I've been going over in my head how horrific, because I mean, like, the way that insider made it sound like was a fucking car accident, like, 57 dead. Like, it sounded like a pileup on the I-95. So, like, the only thing that I could think that could create that kind of ground zero, absolute terror is Goldberg winning the belt and the Rumble and challenging Roman Reigns at WrestleMania to unify the titles.
Look, man, that's apocalyptic.
Look, man,
this is the worst. This is the oh my gosh. I wasn't even thinking that.
Jesus.
I wasn't. I legit just thought he would lose to McIntyre. Everybody would take a collective sigh of relief. Then he would come out and win the Rumble. I didn't even factor into my brain the possibility of him winning the title from McIntyre and entering the Rumble and winning the Rumble. I'm gonna have diarrhea. I'm so worked up right now.
My bro, you've come a long way this past year. You've come a long way to beefism, which is just appreciating the product for what it is. But you've got to take that final step, brother. You have to start viewing everything as worst case scenario.
Oh my God.
That way, if it is the worst case scenario, you're like, well, I saw this coming.
Dude.
And if it's not the worst case scenario, you're like, well, that wasn't a fucking pile up on I-95. I'm okay.
It was just a pile up on a back road.
My worst case scenario that I was thinking of right now seems like a breath of fresh air. I can't imagine. I can't imagine what it would be like. I might no. I can't. Oh,
but can you imagine?
Do you want to go over it anymore? Because I might lose it. I might.
Can you imagine the meltdown that Tigerbomb Tom would have?
Do you guys?
You would see the mushroom cloud from Clearfield.
He would swear off the product.
No.
The Pittsburgh area would be rubble.
No, and that's the rubble. It would be no, and that's the thing is that if that happens, it is going to cataclysmically damage, like beyond what they already have. It's going to damage their credibility. It will shove the hardcore fan, and I believe a good handful of the casual fan, over to AEW. The only prayer that they have to retain is NXT, because NXT is consistently good. They have their missteps, as every organization does and every show does. But the thing is, if they do this, it literally is going to be the only reason that I will watch is like watching a car crash. And again, I know you used the analogy of a pileup on 95, but it will be, because the only thing that's going to happen is we're all going to say collectively this exact phrase: this will all change when McMahon dies. Like it will. Like it has to. This is going to be the final. Oh my God, this is perfect. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm so happy he's here right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, wait.
No, I've got it. I'm the advocate.
And the best damn advocate at that.
Oh, shut up, you two.
The best damn Chooserweight champ there ever was. Tigerbomb Tom has made his entrance at the worst possible time.
So,
because
Tom,
right now, Tom, we're talking about the cataclysmic event that could be this year's WWE Royal Rumble. We've just gotten done talking about how a WWE insider said that one of the ideas being kicked around was, quote, the scariest or the most horrific idea he ever thought of. And Beef, please tell Tom, as you told us, and you made me pee a little bit when you said it, please tell him what your vision of this most cataclysmic Royal Rumble event could be.
Yep. I'm talking ground zero fucking nuclear holocaust here. Would be Goldberg walking out as WWE champion and walking out at number 30 and winning the Rumble to challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for a belt-for-belt match.
Get the fuck out of here. Why? What? Okay, first of all, is that... Hold on.
Listen.
Hold on. While I process this and have an aneurysm and a stroke at the same time. So the insider says that they're saying that could be the most cataclysmic, or you're saying
nothing was mentioned as far as names or what could happen. They said, and I'm going to pull up the article here so that I can get the actual quoting right. Oh man, it was lots of shit was sent today, but it was something to the stench of, WWE Insider worries that they have that they're going to book something. What the fuck is it? My God, I can't find the fucking article. But bottom line is, they made it seem like it was absolutely terrible, like something that was. Here we are. Terrifying Royal Rumble finish. Quote unquote terrifying Royal Rumble.
Do you think that'll include the Fiend? Maybe they're throwing in terrifying that way. That's false hope, but maybe.
Here's the quote from the article.
Let me hear the article. I don't want to knee jerk it yet. But go ahead.
There's a finish that scares the death out of me, and it's legitimately getting heavy consideration.
Now look, can you? I just want to pose this. Nightmare scenario to you. Can you imagine if it comes down to the likes of the Final Four? Goldberg, Daniel Bryan, The Fiend, Adam Cole. And Goldberg is the one that walks out of there with the Royal Rumble win?
You know what you want to hear?
Wait, where did Adam Cole come from?
I'm just saying, because of all the rage that WWE could throw me into, you have a Final Four with those three guys and Goldberg comes out on top, I would lose it.
To your point earlier, Ransom, you know what we would hear? Applause and chants of Goldberg, because
it's the stupid
controls
it. They're going to pump in stupid audio.
And that's why, and there you go. That's why they're not moving the fucking event. That's why they're not taking the shit out. That's why they're not letting people in, because this is the fucking plan. Get behind it, gentlemen. You can expect either Goldberg to walk out with the title or the Rumble victory, or both. I have spoken.
Tom, earlier we talked about how...
That's my line, Beef.
Earlier, we
I've
talked
spoken.
about how WWE is doing the Royal Rumble completely with Thunderdome. They're not bringing in crowds. They're not like taking out part of Thunderdome and bringing having partial fans in like AEW does. And Beef had mentioned before, this is happening in Florida, where Florida has had arenas, stadiums with crowds in it. So it can be done. But WWE is refusing to do it. They're not bringing in any live crowds. It's all still Thunderdome. Because if Goldberg were to win the Royal Rumble after winning the title from Drew McIntyre, any live crowd would boo the shit out of that. And Vince McMahon wants complete control over crowd reactions. What a better way to do it? Now Goldberg wins the title. It's all pumped in fake cheering. Goldberg enters the Rumble. It's all pumped in fake cheering. And Goldberg wins the Rumble. I'm so winded. I think I might pass out. Somebody get 911 on their phone just in case I need to push a send.
Got it.
But can you imagine? They're going to be able to pump in all of the cheers, all of the Goldberg chants. No,
just stop.
All the chanting for Goldberg, all the cheering. This makes, oh my God. Ugh.
Again, I'll quote Schitt's Creek.
There.
Again, I'll quote Schitt's Creek. Ooh, David, like, that's bad. And I'm like, now that I put those pieces together, saying them for the first time out loud, I'm legit scared that might be what actually happens.
Okay.
Alex Jones's radar is going off the charts right now with this conspiracy. Gay frogs. The fluoride in the water, the gay frogs, the Goldberg chants. Ah!
All right. Hold
gay
on.
frogs.
Gay frogs. Okay, I legit needed that. But first of all, let's pump the brakes for a second. Is that the only thing that I've missed discussion-wise?
Yeah, we've been holding
okay.
on
Pretty
like
much
the
bitched
woman.
about Goldberg and the Thunderdome the whole time.
So here's what I'm thinking.
All right, so
I'm thinking we wrap this up. We roll into some picks to do a palate cleanser, and then we talk the warm and fuzzies to close out the show of our favorite memories and things that really stuck with us.
Please do.
Let's do that.
Oh,
So let's roll.
can't wait to pick Goldberg as the winner.
Let's palate cleanse here. Let's jump into some picks because our champ is with
Maybe
us.
it's a palate cleanser. Maybe.
Oh, maybe, right?
Oh no! Gay frogs.
All right.
Gay frogs.
What we're picking this month is the three title matches.
Huh?
The women's tag team title match, the Universal title match, and the WWE title match. The winners of the respective Royal Rumbles and the final four of the respective Rumbles.
Right.
We will start with the title matches. We will start with the women's title, which is Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Shania.
Gross.
Tom, you know what? You're the champ. Who do you want to start with?
I was hoping that was that's how we were gonna do it because that's how you had been doing it previously. I am picking Asuka and Charlotte to retain.
Okie dokie. I am picking the other team, Shania, and I know that it's flip floppy, but I feel like that this starts the descent that we get Charlotte versus Asuka at some point. I'm hoping not Mania, but who knows? Maybe Mania. But yes, I'm taking Shania to win the titles back.
Banana.
What, me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Beef, I'm actually going to agree with you on this one. Normally, I would side with Asuka and Charlotte Flair, but honestly, I was like those two, even if it isn't at Mania, I still think that would be a Money Mania match. It absolutely would, and perfect alliteration, too. I
mean, we've already had it, though.
Well, we've already had it, but Charlotte's back, and Asuka has the women's title. Asuka holds it till Mania. Charlotte takes it in a glorious triumphant. So,
I will give in. I will give in.
Ransom, what are you thinking, buddy?
And collect a paycheck.
I'm gonna say Asuka and Charlotte because, with WWE, there's nothing saying that those two can't face off at Mania for the women's title while still being the tag champs. I mean, it's happened before.
Yeah,
did we have that with Rollins and fucking Braun Strowman at one point?
Well, Cena and HBK.
Yeah,
I think they were champions at WrestleMania when they faced off for the championship, I believe.
Well, I was gonna say it might not have been at Mania, but I know it was within. It was right before Rollins did the whole Monday Night Messiah stuff.
Yeah, they like to do that. That's a crutch that they lean on all the time. Is like, strange bedfellow tag team partners break up and have a, dating back to the fucking Mega Powers, So like they've been riding this for 3 decades now. WWE title, or the Universal title match, excuse me, which is now officially a last man standing match. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. I guess I would be up, and I'm picking Roman Reigns. Poot.
It's going to be well fought, and it's going to be super close, but I think it's going to be Reigns as well.
Ransom.
Reigns.
Tom.
Yeah, I gotta stick with Reigns on this one.
Makes the most sense, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's a shame because and I hope that we're all wrong. I truly do. I truly hope we're all wrong. I agree.
But it is what it is, and we know. And at this point, honestly, I don't know that Roman could eat a loss right now heading into Mania. I think it would be very poor decision making. It sucks for Owens, but hey, at least he's in a title match, So
Duly noted.
McIntyre of the Drew variety versus Goldberg of the William variety for the WWE Championship. Poot.
Oh, Dixon. Damn it. Pass.
You can't do that.
You can't do
Who's
that.
after Poot?
He can't do that. Can he do that?
I'll accept the swap here.
No,
if he wants to swap with me, I'll accept the swap.
No, it's good.
All right.
I am going to lean on the fact that hoping WWE does not act a fool and picks one or the other for that dopey bastard to win, and I hope it's not this. I'm going to say Drew McIntyre pending change at last call.
Ransom.
Goldberg.
Tom.
Oh, God. Every fiber of my being is screaming at me to go against Goldberg.
I have given up on WWE doing the right thing.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
I'm kind of with Ransom on this, and oh God, it pains me. I can't even say it, but you know what it is.
Oh, the vomit's coming out of his mouth. He's picking Goldberg.
The vomit's coming out of my mouth. Dark Chungus.
Despite Alex Jones coming out of my mouth about 15 minutes ago, I gotta believe that WWE knows what they're doing. They cannot have McIntyre lose this match. Cannot.
They could not have the Fiend lose either. Could they?
Yeah.
Did they?
They did.
Just saying.
I'm picking McIntyre. I'm picking McIntyre. I'm picking McIntyre.
I hope Tom and I are dead wrong. I hope we are. I would happily come nowhere close to this title to be dead wrong.
Yeah, same here. I really, really, really hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, hopes in one hand and wishes in the other, and put them together, and Vince McMahon poops on them anyway. So, moving on to
Geriatric poo. Ew.
Final four of the women's Royal Rumble match.
Wait, did we didn't pick the winner for the women's Royal Rumble match yet?
We did not. So I figured we were going to do Final Four and then pick the winner, and then same with the men's.
Oh, okay.
Do we want to do all four at the same time?
Each
of us give our four.
Can we give the announced winners? Or the announced participants so far?
Yes, we can, because I have that. I have that actually. I have that pulled up because I thought that question might come up. So
do the women's because we're doing women right now.
I will do the women. How you doing?
We know you will.
All right. Well, except for one of the announced ones.
Oh,
anyways.
Poor child.
All right. All right. So here's the announced women thus far. This is per the Wikipedia in the year of our Lord. Currently. So from Raw, we have the most terrible women's wrestler, Nia Jax. We have Charlotte Flair announced for the Rumble, which is, anyways, okay.
Weird.
So, she's there. Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Peyton Royce, Alexa Bliss, Shayna Baszler. That's all from Raw. From SmackDown, we have Bianca Belair, Bayley, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, and Tamina. All announced from SmackDown. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Beef. I might have to go back and look at this. I'm actually on the Wikipedia, so I can look too. But we don't have Sasha and Carmella.
Sasha right.
They're not. Okay.
Nope. And that could be announced because obviously SmackDown's tomorrow night, so anything could happen.
But we're not picking that
right.
if it is. Okay. So yeah, there you go.
So that's probably going to happen. So I would anticipate neither of those two being in the Rumble. And obviously, Asuka's the other champion, so she's not going to be in the Rumble either.
But yeah, so far we have 12 of the 30 entrants: Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Peyton Royce, Alexa Bliss, Shayna Baszler. Then we have Bianca Belair, Bayley, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, and Tamina.
Ransom, give me your final four.
Good Lord, if I can even remember those names. Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Freaking catch that surprise entrant number 4. That's who.
Okay.
I have no idea. I don't. Nia Jax. Why not? Why not put Chungus in there?
Oh, Tom, who you got as your final four in the women?
My final four. I'm gonna take Charlotte, Bianca Belair. I'm thinking here. Give me a second. Gotta have another heel in there. I'm thinking. Hang on. Okay, so I said Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair. I'm gonna say Nia Jax, and I'm gonna throw a caveat. Somebody that's not announced, but I think that will be in there. I'm gonna say freaking. Oh my God, why am I blanking on
Holly?
No, Rhea Ripley.
My final four.
I have a feeling that it's probably going to be at least two people in the final four that aren't announced yet.
My final four are Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and Rhea Ripley. Poot.
Mine are Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
We're
all very close.
We are all very, very close,
But
with a couple of differences.
Slightly different, yeah.
I don't. So here's the thing: Bianca Belair had a great showing last year. I don't know that she'll get that again this year. I think that she may be a number 1 or number 2, and may get through like number 18 or 19 before getting tossed out.
Do I have to wait for last call to change one of mine?
Yeah.
You don't have to. You can change. You get what's your change? Sorry.
Can I take Nia Jax out and put Ember Moon in?
Okay.
Oh, good call.
Bad call.
Okay. All right. So now the winner. Who do we led with Ransom on that one? So Tom, who's your winner of the Women's Royal Rumble?
Fuck me. Rhea Ripley.
Fuck you, Rhea Ripley. Poot.
You guys are really in. I was gonna go with Alexa Bliss, because, I mean, she's so strong. I mean, she absolutely dominated the women's champion. Like, you know, took an
RKO. It took an RKO for her not to win.
Yep.
You know
what?
I'm sorry. No. The 3 deadliest letters in all of sports entertainment. Shut up, Randy. Go ahead.
I'm gonna stick with Alexa Bliss just to be different, because my go-to was gonna be Rhea Ripley, but just to make it interesting, I'm gonna say Alexa Bliss.
Ransom, who you got?
Ember Moon, because I don't fucking know.
Okay. All right. So
I like it.
Moving on to the men's final four. Tom, you want to hit us with those names?
Yes. All right. So far we have, how many do we have? 17 of the 30 entrants announced. From Monday Night Raw, we have Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, The Miz, Jeff Hardy, John Morrison, Sheamus, and Mustafa Ali. From SmackDown, we have Daniel Bryan, Otis, Jey Uso, Cesaro, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Big E. And then, as announced on Monday Night Raw, we have the return of Edge. So he's not really affiliated with either brand. He is a free agent.
So I am the first for the final four of the men. So I will go with the following: Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan, Big E, and Edge. Poot.
I'm gonna go with. Oh boy, this is tough. I'm gonna go with Big E, Daniel Bryan. In case you didn't hear that over that gross, might have been diarrhea instead of a burp.
No, it's no diarrhea at all.
Big E, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Now you said Bryan.
Did
too.
I
You're
say
keeping
Bryan?
him?
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Big E, Bryan, Shinsuke Nakamura, and God help me, Goldberg.
Yes.
No.
Ransom.
Why?
Ransom. I pick Edge, Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar, and Goldberg.
Oh, God, it makes me want to puke.
I'm going to change Nakamura to Edge.
Okay, let him go ahead get out of there.
Tom.
I'm going to say Daniel Bryan. Edge. Randy Orton. And... Oh, God.
Do you believe in miracles, Tom?
Do I believe in miracles?
Do you believe that the old man still got it?
Who, Edge?
No, Goldberg.
Fuck no. Okay, hold on. Who did I say? Daniel Bryan.
Bryan, Edge, Orton, and...
Bryan, Edge, Orton, and... No. Shinsuke.
All right.
I want to make a change.
Okay.
I want to take out Brock Lesnar. And for the sheer meme of it all, for the final four, I want to put in Adam Cole.
Baby. All right.
God help me if freaking Goldberg eliminates Bryan, Edge, and Cole and wins.
I thought for sure that you were going to be a smartass and say you were going to take out Brock Lesnar and put in Goldberg twice.
Yes, all four of my final fours are Goldberg.
All right, so the winner, which I guess falls on me again, the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble is Brock Lesnar. Poot.
Yes.
Daniel Bryan.
My man.
Ransom?
I'm betting on full-blown WWE meltdown. Goldberg.
Oh, God, it hurts.
Tom?
Daniel Bryan.
I am very hopeful that Daniel Bryan wins. I think,
Will this be his first?
This would be his first. I think this would be his first Final Four, actually, too.
Jeez.
I mean, it's a long time coming, and I think that this would be a good way, yet a really shitty way, to have him win in front of the fucking crowd that they, won't have saying the yes things. So I think that'd be a wonderful thing to have them do, but I don't, no way. I think Lesnar comes out of fucking Manitoba, fucking wearing a bear skin and just, runs through the back half of the Rumble.
Anyone but Goldberg. I'd rather have fucking Otis win the Rumble than Goldberg.
Yeah.
Hey, do we want to throw in a surprise entrant for either of these two Rumbles as an official pick?
Nah, not an official pick.
Well, yeah. So let's talk surprises though, of what you'd like to see and who you expect to see. Yeah, let's keep it good and unofficial here. But yeah.
So wait, hold on though. Are we done with official picks?
We are done with. Okay, yeah. So let me review the official picks for the non-title matches. I have gone Shania, Reigns, McIntyre, Poot's gone Shania, Reigns, McIntyre. Ransom has gone Oscar Flair, Reigns, Goldberg. Tom has gone Oscar Flair, Reigns, Goldberg.
Yeah.
For the Rumbles, my final four for the women's was Charlotte, Bliss, Rhea, Bailey. Poots was Charlotte, Belair, Bliss, and Rhea. Ransom's was Belair, Bliss, Charlotte, and Ember Moon. Tom's was Charlotte, Belair, Jax, and Rhea. Winners, I picked Rhea. Poot picked Bliss. Ransom picked Moon. Tom picked Rhea. Men's Royal Rumbles. I picked Lesnar, Bryan, Big E, Edge. Poot went Big E, Bryan, Edge, Goldberg. Ransom went Edge, Bryan, Cole, Adam Cole, Goldberg, not Michael. Maybe Michael. And Tom went Bryan, Edge, Orton, and Nakamura.
Correct. Correction. Ransom said Goldberg, and gay frogs.
Yes, the gay frog!
I have a change I would like to make to one of my things.
Yep.
For my final four, I would like to take out Chungus and put in Shayna Baszler instead.
Oh, poor Dark Aether Chungus.
Yeah, I know, right?
Is it Aether or Ether?
Aether, I think.
How's
I
it
don't
spelled?
know. Aether.
It's Aether. So
Okay.
it's like a schwa.
I think that let's do the winners here before I pontificate. The winners of the men's rumble, I have Lesnar. Poot has Bryan. Ransom has Goldberg. Tom has Bryan.
Oh God.
All things being heard, any changes anyone wants to make at this time?
Ransom is good.
I'm good.
Bootski?
Speaking of pontification.
WWE is really good at fucking everything up. I'm really leaning towards changing to Goldberg.
They sure are.
Man.
They sure are.
I think the route they'll take, I really do. I think the route they'll take is, and I don't want him to win that belt, but I think he'll win the belt and then not be, or get eliminated from the Rumble. That would be only half of a throw up. You know what? I'm going to stand by my statement. I'm going to hope that this is the year for Bryan.
Okay. We're locked in, gents. So as far as and yes, we're going to talk surprises here, but I think as big of a deal as the final four are, I think numbers 1 and 2 make a pretty strong statement, or have in the past as well. Obviously, guys like HBK and Benoit, Mysterio, and Vince McMahon winning from the numbers 1 and 2 positions. But we've seen great and long runs from those positions, like CM Punk in 2014, and there are various others. So, I think 1 and 2 is almost as big of a, hey, congratulations, as a final four, because they're like, hey, we're trusting you to carry the bulk of this match. Good luck. So, that being said, let's talk some surprises. Who do you think we're going to see on Sunday? Who do you want to see on Sunday?
I'm going to get this out of the way because we always end up saying it. Dream in a perfect world when all the stars aligned and 2020 never happened, CM Punk. But that would never happen.
See, my dream entry at number 30 would be Kenny Omega.
This is absolute fantasy dream booking.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, that's like, yeah.
I would love to see Kenny Omega come in, win the Rumble, win the Impact title, win at WrestleMania, and then win at Wrestle Kingdom next year, and have every major promotion heavyweight title. How big of a crazy, crazy thing would that be? And it would never happen. Because then, Vince would have to agree that his product was on equal footing as Impact or AEW or New Japan, which would never happen.
Correct.
You are higher than Cheech, Chong, Jay, Silent Bob, and Willie Nelson have ever been.
And Matt Riddle.
Bro.
Well, yeah, that's it too, bro.
I'm just saying, in a dream scenario,
oh my gosh, yes.
That's where my mind goes. But
Yeah.
but it's never gonna happen ever.
So are we talking fantasy here? Because if we are,
Well, I
I'm talking
mean, we
Owen
can
Hart
talk-
comes back from the dead and wins.
Well, I mean that's probably much.
Are we
but-
talking realism here, or are we talking fantasy?
Yeah, I mean,
my creative character has a great shot at winning.
You mean algorithm? You know, we could talk anything, man. Like what you want to see realistically, who you think is going to be there. Yeah, let's just fucking open up the floor.
Realistically, who haven't we seen in NXT for a little bit?
Velveteen
Oh.
Dream.
I think that
No
could be
way.
somebody. I think we might see him come in.
I don't.
I think Cross could be there. I think.
Cross would be a really good one.
Is Velveteen done being punished?
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
None of us mentioned Keith Lee for a Final Four.
No, we didn't.
There's
That's
no
sad.
shock value there, because why on earth not be the first person eliminated from the Rumble?
Punish
Keith Lee-
for
Keith
being
Lee's
too
probably
good.
gonna be number one, and he'll probably get thrown out. Like he'll probably be like Final Six. I bet. That makes me sad though.
Honestly, I hate to say this, and this really just goes to show the lack of fucking continuity and the lack of direction and forward thinking that the WWE in general has on Monday Night Raw. But after Keith Lee's fucking the last time he's been on TV in a match has been what, Legends Night or the week after?
I think Legends Night when he lost to McIntyre. I think that was it.
Yep.
Was that really it?
Wow.
So for the last what now 2 or 3 weeks, he hasn't done jack shit.
Yep.
Jeez.
That's a fucking crime against humanity. I'm serious.
Right,
Because let's be honest. Keith Lee is probably one of the most athletic big dudes that
Yes.
you'll ever see. Because I don't see short of Brock Lesnar doing the failed shooting star press on Angle at fucking whatever it was it WrestleMania 03?
19 WrestleMania 19.
Yeah, I'm going by year. I don't know.
I don't know the years.
And anyways, all right. So I'm pretty sure it was 03 because I remember watching it
Yes, it was
in high
03.
school or whatever. So yeah. But in any case, short of Brock Lesnar doing that, you're not going to see a fucking big dude, anybody as big as Keith Lee, fucking flipping through the air doing a Spanish fly or anything like that. It's the shit that he does and how
But you
fast
know
he
what,
can
though?
move is amazing.
Here's the thing: out of sight, out of mind. When it comes
Yeah.
to the Royal Rumble, sometimes that's not a bad thing. So that makes
True.
me think that maybe he might show up in the Rumble and have a really. He's going to be in the Rumble, obviously. But
Oh yeah.
he's not listed actually. That's interesting. He's going to have a big showing. And the fact that they're keeping him off the list tells me that he's going to have a big showing. He may even win the damn thing.
You think he has the most eliminations?
No.
Well, I mean, maybe this year he might have 10 or 11 this year.
I think Reigns. Oh, none of us picked Reigns for a final.
We're all assuming
He's a
he's going to be the
champion,
champion
yeah.
and not going to be in it.
Yeah,
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't
him
matter.
being
You're
him
right.
being in the Rumble is kind of beneath him at this point for his character.
That's a more salient point than him being a champion for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I fucking beef 4 hours ago needs to come to this realization of Keith Lee because I definitely would have had him slated in the top 4. Anyway, so I think he'll obviously be there for sure. Karrion Kross, I think, stands a pretty good shot of showing up.
I still say the Fiend. I still say the Fiend has a chance of showing up
as an actual entrant.
as an actual entrant and fucking things up for Orton.
Let me pose this. What if we don't see the Fiend in the men's Rumble? What if we see Playground Alexa Bliss and then she gets eliminated and later we get Fiend Alexa Bliss?
That'd
Mick
be so
Foley
cool.
style.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be badass.
I'd be okay with that.
So I have to ask this question now too. Does it matter which version of Alexa Bliss winds up in the Final Four if she does, or winning if she does?
I'm
Nah.
gonna say for our pick, since we already
No.
picked it, no. As long as it's Alexa Bliss.
Right.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So RVD, you know what? Thinking about it, RVD's Impact contract was up here not too long ago, and he's kind of been playing it quiet to the
Yeah.
vest. He's a guy who's like to show back up on Rumble days, so it wouldn't surprise me if he comes back for a shock entrance.
Dude, he's getting, I don't know if you've seen him lately, he's getting that old man barrel chest.
Yep.
Like, he is getting up there. I mean, he can still go, but he's really starting to kind of show his age in the ring. And that's no offense. I love RVD, man. Like, it's kind of one of those things like, dude, come on. Just hang it up. Hang it up.
What if they had RVD come back and do a stint with Matt Riddle and they like had a tag
Nobody
team?
gets higher than RVD and Matt.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god,
they have a finisher called like the
Blazing
Blaze
Brothers.
It. The Blaze It
Brothers.
power bomb. Oh, the Blaze Brothers.
The Blazing Bros.
I
Hey,
think
you know who I would love to see as a surprise entrant in the Rumble? Strictly for nostalgia, I would
Matt
love to
Taven?
see Kane.
Oh, Kane? Yeah, I would too.
You know what? I don't even care. Like, I don't care if he's even in there long. If the fire happens and he comes doing his Kane walk to the ring, choke slams one guy, eliminates one guy, and then gets knocked out, I'm happy. I love to see Kane in the Royal Rumble.
You know who's another one? I don't know if you guys knew about this. Was
I did.
Dalton Castle's Impact
yeah.
contract is up. I could see Dalton Castle making an appearance. I could. That's within the realm of, I think, possibility.
yeah, that's not a bad call.
Yeah,
So,
that
I
would
wanna
be
ask
really
you guys
cool.
this.
Has he?
'Cause-
Sorry,
what?
go ahead. I was gonna ask
No.
I was gonna ask if Dalton Castle had wrestled with WWE previously at all.
Nope.
No,
Okay.
but it could
Just
be
So,
that AJ Styles thing, although it wouldn't have the same impact. No pun intended.
No. Not at all. Because I mean, no one.
Marty
I
Scurll.
barely know.
Marty Scurll.
No. Mm-mm.
You
No,
never. You never
at
know.
This point, at this point, he's persona non grata. I think that everybody's kind of waiting on him. Yes.
Oh God, I just thought about it. Speaking in the realms of WWE, and since Marty Scurll is originally from the UK, we didn't think about any NXT UK guys being in the Rumble. What about Walter?
Walter would be
Oh,
a solid pick.
Walter would be amazing. Oh,
so let me ask you guys this.
Mm-hmm.
So let's fantasy pick one person here that you would like to see from an outside establishment in realistic fashion, not Kenny Omega, because we know that probably won't happen, but
Right.
somebody who's either out of contract, not currently in a promotion, who used to be, maybe their contract is coming up, somebody that we could realistically see as a surprise entrant in the Rumble from outside of the WWE NXT universe. Who would you like to see? Donald Trump commented once.
man.
Who would you like to see?
Oh, I don't really know. My problem is that I don't follow outside promotions very much or closely or sometimes at all, other
Right.
than AEW. So I honestly have no idea who it would even be a realistic pick for this.
Madison Rain.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Madison Rain just retired here, like not even a month ago. So I think it'd be pretty cool if she did at least did like a spotlight, like, oh hey, it's women's star Madison Rain, something like that would be neat, a neat little nod,
Rebby Hardy.
Oh God.
She can't stop spitting out kids, man. They just had another kid like 2 months ago or whatever.
Oh, she
Yep.
can't take a bump. She'll pee herself.
I'm gonna.
Is Lacey Von Erich still in Impact?
Oh fuck. Yeah, what's her name? It's not
Taya Valkyrie?
No, not Taya. Well, Taya. Oh, Taya could show up too because I think her contract just ended too.
Yeah.
There you go.
because she was the murderer. No, what the fuck is her name? Oh God, Blanchard. Tessa
Blanchard.
That
Wow.
would be show up too.
Now,
Wait.
here's the question, though. Which Rumble does she show up in?
Oh, I like that question. I like that a lot.
She's not with Impact anymore?
No, oh my God, no. They had a huge falling out because
Oh,
of
okay.
COVID. She was the world champion, and because of COVID, she was in Mexico. She couldn't get back across the border, and so Impact's like, hey, can you like at least send us some vignettes? And she's like, no. And so they're like, all right, well, I guess you're fired then. And she's like, okay. And so like
Jesus.
that was in like June or July. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I had no idea.
Holy crap.
And then it literally went down that way. Like Impact's like, all right, well, you know what? We're gonna just give you the title to like we're gonna have an interim champion.
Yep.
Can you at least have a photo shoot of you like giving the title? Like, nope. Like, oh, okay, well, fuck you then. You're gone. Like,
Jesus. Like, ow. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, I understand COVID fucked
well, and
everything up for. Like,
Oh,
I understand
Cyrus.
it fucked everything up for everybody. But Jesus Christ, like, hey, can you send us some vignettes? No.
they treated her like gold, man. Like,
You son of a bitch.
like they treated her like fucking solid gold, and
Yeah,
they
they
made
did.
her a household name, damn near. So like I don't get unless she was like I want out of my contract, and they're like no, and she's like okay, well then fuck you guys, I have your title, good luck getting it back. That's
Oh.
the only thing I could think that would have went sour. So she would have been she'd be an interesting one. Taya Valkyrie would not surprise me because she is Johnny Moe's wife, so.
Yep.
That wouldn't shock me too much
Yeah.
either.
I
Do
would.
you think Melina would be a surprise entrant?
She would be,
Poor poop.
and she looks like a fucking snack anymore too. Like, she
Melina-
looked damn good on Legends Night.
Trish probably.
Mhm.
I wouldn't
Well,
be surprised if they bring Trish out.
Trish did her. Trish came back for the first Women's Royal Rumble, and I think that was kind of like symbolic. Like, hey, I'm here,
Passing the torch and that.
Right.
Do you think they'll have Beth Phoenix come back again? Because last Rumble, did she get her head split open pretty bad?
She
Yeah,
did.
she
yeah.
did, but she kept going like a boss.
She did. She was
Yeah,
fucking-
she's a trooper.
she's pretty committed to announcing? So I think that she'll be,
No, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, well, oh wow.
Listen,
Jeez.
I'll give her all the credit in the world. She does keep getting better, but man, she's got a while because it just
It's a very slow build. You're right.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that she wouldn't answer the phone. And I mean, realistically, the Women's Rumble has always been full of surprises anyway, because that's where like a lot of NXT women will show up for the first time.
NXT UK.
Yep, we saw Xia Li show up, Toni Storm previously, Rhea Ripley, obviously. So I mean, yeah, we've seen a good number.
what about
Raquel
Io
Gonzalez would be a good
Shirai?
Mm-hmm.
Io
Yeah, we can
Shirai's
see
one.
her show up. I'd say
Now, if you're thinking like legit crossovers,
Big Swole.
That'd be a good one, actually.
I would think that if WWE is ever going to get in talks with AEW, wouldn't a great little crossover, especially at the Rumble, because it could literally be a one and done. You don't have to plan storylines. You don't have to plan winners and like the Rumble feels like the best time for a company to company crossover.
oh yeah.
You know, you get an
Anything can
appearance, you
happen.
get a big pop. It's really awesome. You get eyes on both products. Everybody goes their separate ways and they're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be fun to see Dr. Britt Baker show
Oh,
up in the Women's Rumble?
that would
That'd
be
be
great.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That
I
would be
love her
good.
just to make an appearance. She doesn't have to do anything crazy.
It would be a good
You
toe
know?
dip. It would be a good toe
Oh,
dip.
yes. Yes.
So realistically, I think so. So if we're being real, and we're setting actual expectations here for Sunday, I think that we probably are surprise light. Obviously,
Really?
yes, obviously because of COVID, people are separated, which means they can't really be bringing in like people just from around. You know, they would have had to been quarantining for the last couple weeks, and like that shit never stays quiet. So like I think that we would have some ideas, but I mean again, like this is in the Thunderdome, like and you said about pops, like yes, we're gonna hear manufactured pops. So like Keith Lee is gonna be a surprise because he's not listed. So I think you'll hear the manufactured pop there. But I mean, like, why would they pull a trigger for an actual big time return or actual big time like debut like they did AJ Styles in front of zero souls? Like,
Well, Well, to be fair, they also had Drew McIntyre have his first big title, WWE title win in front of nobody.
True.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it's I think it's you're playing the hand you're dealt, and you just got to keep rolling with the storyline what you have planned out with your forward thinking, however little that may be in WWE's case. But
Ooh.
oh my.
But like legit surprises, like we might see Karrion Kross. We
Yeah.
definitely going to
Adam
see
Cole.
Keith Lee. I
Oh,
don't think we'll see Adam Cole.
hold on. Here's
Balor?
here's two.
Nope.
No, here's two we didn't think of, and I don't know. I don't know how quickly the recovery time is would be afterwards. What about Becky Lynch?
That was one that I had on my radar. Becky and Ronda.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna
I
say,
didn't
and
even think about Ronda.
what
Well-
about Seth? What about Seth? Is he injured,
no.
or kayfabe injured?
No, he's kayfabe injured. He's
Did he
daddy
lose an
time.
eye, or did he get a leg chopped off? Or...
It's out.
He's daddy time. So yeah,
It's out. His dick is
he might
out.
come back.
Oh, damn. Call
Becky
back.
Lynch, I think, is too fresh because they just had their kid like not even a month ago.
I wasn't sure
So-
how old her kid was. I can't remember. I couldn't
No, yeah,
remember.
Yeah, she goes over the top rope and lands. She's definitely in.
Yeah, there's
No.
no chance this year. Ronda Rousey maybe, but again, like they so right now they got to be playing the long game. And
Yeah.
so here's where I'm coming from. They know that in less than 4 months they're going to be in front of 25,000 people that are going to sound like 100,000 people, and I fucking guarantee that it will. Why? So I think that we're going to get more WrestleMania surprises than Royal Rumble surprises because, like I
Ugh.
said, I think you'll see some NXT guys. I think you'll see Karrion Kross. You might see what's Auzilla's name? I can never remember it.
Who?
Auzzilla?
Vinny Vegas.
No. Fucking. You know who I'm talking about.
Bronson
Yeah.
Reed?
Bronson Reed. You might see Bronson Reed.
Would you call him Auzzilla?
Yeah, because that's what they've called him. He's from Australia. He's like Godzilla. He's Auzzilla. Like.
Oh, I
they
have
called him that.
never heard him call that. I've just heard him called Colossal Bronson
No.
Reed.
They called him it over the summer. But
What
God,
about Kevin Nash return?
Oh God, no! He'll
Well,
tear a
I
quad
mean,
getting into the ring.
Come on.
he has done it several times, so it's right about due
Hold on.
time of that.
Kevin Nash loves his Rumble payday.
To quote CM Punk, Kevin Nash, OMG, thought he was dead.
Oh.
And again, COVID, like especially with old timers, like I think they're going to be very protected both of the talent because they can't get a fucking super spreader, not now.
Booker T's coming in, I betcha.
No,
Can you dig it?
maybe,
Sucker!
but like I think they're going to play very close to the chest. We may not even see NXT talent because they are two completely talent pools right now. There's been intermingling, like, and yes, I understand that in theory, we're in the fleeting moments of this fucking dreadful virus. But at the same time, like I said, like right now is the road to WrestleMania begins on Sunday. Right now is the absolute worst time for them to like
Settle down, Michael Cole.
roll the dice and no, I mean legit. Like right now, is
Yeah,
the worst time
beefing his WWE Universe spiel. The road to WrestleMania begins.
It's the fucking truth. Like
I know
bottom line,
it's true. I'm laughing at the how it was delivered. It was a
I'm
very
gonna
Michael Cole delivery.
deliver you
Okay.
from evil. But my point is that I think we'll see Rhea Ripley, Keith Lee, Karrion Kross. Those are my picks for the Rumble surprises. I don't think we're going to see anything outlandish.
Oh God.
So is it?
Go on.
Listen, sometimes you got to stroke out. We talked a lot about Goldberg.
Listen, what you do in your free time off the podcast is between you, Tara, and Jesus. Okay.
Oh my Lord! The cloth is going to flow swiftly to my brain. Is it feasibly possible that we see zero outside of Raw and SmackDown roster surprises?
It's
It's
feasible.
possible.
What
Like I said,
a disastrous letdown that would That's one of my favorite things about the Rumble are the surprises.
I mean,
It would real. I get why. You're
Yeah.
not wrong. I get why. But I'm going to tell you from my viewer standpoint, that's going to lower this Royal Rumble, no matter how good it is. It's going to knock it down a few pegs in the list of great Royal Rumbles
now,
because the surprises are always one of the best parts.
well,
And that's what
even
I'm trying to do. Like Bad News Beefy here. I'm
Yeah.
trying to lower you guys' expectations because I know what
I'm
we all want.
afraid I've got
Oh.
some bad ham for you.
Oh, I would love Bad News Barrett to be in it.
bad beef.
Put him in it. Put
Realistically,
Bad News Barrett in.
we know that they have the talent separated. NXT in one pod,
Damn
main
it.
roster in the other pod. I just like
Yeah.
we've seen it in the past, but it would not. And plus, if you start filling out some of these slots, man, like they're 17. If you throw in Keith Lee, if you throw in the other three mooks from Retribution, we're
Yeah, that's what
already
I was
up
going
to
to say. We forgot
21.
about them.
If you throw in Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander and MVP, we're up to 25.
Yep.
So and
Okay,
then
real quick.
Street Profits is 27. So we're basically at 30.
Can we
That's
give a round?
bullshit.
Can we give a round of applause that Beef got the name right this time?
Cedric McAfee. Yes.
See, proud of you, Beef.
Like,
Proud of you. I really
Be proud of him. This is
Hey.
nothing to be proud of. He got a
We do this-
simple name pronunciation correct. You should take no pride in that. You should be ashamed of all the times you mispronounced it.
Again, we do this every single year where we're like, oh man, there are 9 spots open. And we all sit there on our fucking phone.
I like how he
and we're
just
like,
glosses over that.
I do.
It's the best thing to do. It's the best
on our
thing.
fucking phones, and we're like, okay, well, there's so-and-so, there's so-and-so, there's so-and-so. Oh, there's still 5 slots left. Oh, there's still 3 slots left. Oh, there's still room for one more surprise. And it's fucking Rey Mysterio. And we're like,
Oh
my God.
Speaking
How
of
did
which,
Daniel Bryan not win this?
dude, that is a perfect segue. When we were going to talk about memorable Royal Rumble stuff, I'm not even going to say it was my favorite Royal Rumble, but I'm going to say, segueing here, one of my most memorable experiences with the Royal Rumble, because I got to go to it because it was here in Pittsburgh, 2014, CM Punk's last Royal Rumble. And
Last appearance.
yes, his last appearance and his last Royal
And it
Rumble.
was.
But yeah, whenever we waited all night and thought that Daniel Bryan was going to come back and Rey Mysterio came out at number 30, I have never been part of a crowd or heard anyone boo a babyface so fucking hard like how we booed Rey Mysterio the fuck out of the building.
Oh,
It was so great.
And
that was such a memorable experience.
that's such a shame too, because you got to feel bad for Ray. You do,
Yes.
because he
You
didn't do anything but his job. You know what I mean?
The man can regenerate limbs. I don't feel bad for him.
And he was like,
It's out! It's out!
he was one of the key mark surprises. Like he was supposed to be the one that was like, oh my gosh, it's Rey Mysterio, but like it went over like a fart in church.
Oh yeah, it did.
You know,
Big time.
2014 gets a lot. So at the time, I remember the absolute vitriol that I had in my veins from 2014. I remember how absolutely angry and dejected I was that they were doing the worst thing in the absolute world. They had just basically, to me,
Yeah, man.
pulled a baby out of a uterus and punted the thing 30 yards downfield.
They fucking snitskied it.
It's not my
Oh, it
fault.
wasn't my
They-
fault.
So, like, to me,
Yeah,
that was like that was the murder of the business. Looking back, I enjoy watching that Rumble because I remember that emotion. I remember how absolutely emotional I was during the Rumble, and you can still feel the absolute emotion going through the Console Energy Center. So yes, like that. So I've watched pretty much every Royal Rumble in the last 2 weeks, except for the last
Dear Lord.
8 weeks. The last 8. I think I have like 7 or 8 more.
Wow, no fall out for Beef.
So there's been a lot of really bad ones, and by bad I mean
Oh.
not memorable, not exciting, or like ones that were built around one specific spot, like when Hogan met Warrior in the middle of the ring, or You know, even Austin's first Rumble that he won was fairly ignominious, except for him winning. So
Wait. Which one was that?
97.
Okay. He won what, 97 and 98?
Yes. And
All
then
right. I was going to have to
2000.
flip out on you there for a second.
No,
98 is one of my favorites.
Yes, 98 was a good one.
Oh.
But like 97 was fairly like, you know, quiet time. So like 2014, the Rumble, I remember the event itself was pretty good, but the Rumble itself, that match just lit a fire in me at that point. But looking back, I like to watch it because of the crash of the fucking pile up on I-95, because I know it's coming, and I can watch for all the fucking signs, and I can be like, oh, watch this, and I sat here and like, you know, fucking John Madden it for my wife, and I was like, okay, here comes Rey Mysterio. Listen to the crowd absolutely shit all over him. You know, listen to the crowd's cheer as he gets thrown up by Seth Rollins. So like, you know, it's at this point it's fun. What are some of your favorite Rumbles though? That's what I want to hear. What are some of your most memorable and favorite Rumbles?
All right.
Oh boy.
So
Go ahead.
the first Rumble I remember, it was the one to win Michaels Rumble. That was 95. Right? 95, 96?
Yes, I believe so. Somewhere in that
And-
time. Yep.
Because I remember that was the first Royal Rumble I ever saw. Because down at our local video store, you could rent, they had a whole section of wrestling stuff. And I remember seeing the Royal Rumble, and I saw Shawn Michaels on the front of the box, and he was my favorite. So I rented it and I watched it. And that skim the cat moment and the replays of like his one foot brushing and the other one coming so close but not touching, and Bulldog celebrating, and you know, like just that moment to me. Well, when I think of Royal Rumble, I think of that moment. The other one that I will say, now I didn't go all the way back to the first one because this week I tried to watch as many Rumble matches as I possibly could. Watching 97 and 98, man, it took me back. Like it just like it gave, I sat and watched those fully knowing what was going to happen and just reveling in that feeling I used to have when it was Mondays and it was time for Raw. You know what I mean? Like I got so excited. And I loved wrestling so much. And not that I don't now, but it's definitely a different perspective versus starry-eyed young Poot. You know what I mean? Like watching these legends and like seeing the things that were being done that were really creative, like Mick Foley coming out as Cactus Jack and then coming in as Mankind and then coming in as Dude Love. Like that man pulled... You know, he did a lot in that Rumble. And then like what other things, seeing the genesis of things like Kofi's Spot Fest, which I know Beef, you're not a fan of those. I know you guys aren't,
love them.
but seeing the genesis of that with the first one he did where he walked on his hands over to the steps. And everyone popped so hard. You know what I mean? You can see... The other thing you can see, too, when you watch the Rumbles that were like 2007, 8, 9, and then like 11, 12, 13. It's so crazy to watch those back to back because you can see different reactions for different wrestlers. Like one year, Sheamus, 0 pop. The next year, huge pop. You know what I mean? And forgetting like how things worked, whether he was out with injury, whether they just built his character right, or like watching and seeing like baby Drew McIntyre. You know, and then there was one year where Jinder Mahal came out and he's wearing the garb, and he's very regal and walking down and like systematically taking off his garb and then getting in the ring. To the following year, him being a member of 3-man band. Like
So real
how
quick,
quickly things change.
I know the other two want to jump in here, but real quick, something I absolutely noticed in 2014 Rumble, it wasn't until I was keeping track of like AEW wrestlers in the ring, like current AEW wrestlers versus current WWE wrestlers.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the 15th or 16th pick, like the 15th or 16th number came out, that the current active WWE wrestlers took the lead over current active AEW wrestlers.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, because you had guys like Cody.
Wait,
Goldust,
what? Run that by me one more time.
So in 2014, and I'm gonna watch because 2014 was the most recent I've watched. It wasn't until entrant number 17 or 18 that that the current superstars in the ring, the current number of current WWE superstars outnumbered the current number of AEW superstars.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
That's
because you had
bonkers.
guys like Swagger and Cody and Goldust and John Moxley, and it was really cool to see like where a lot of that quote unquote draft class, as you like to say, like that pack of young guys, how their careers have kind of like divided,
Yeah.
And well, I mean, even seeing people like come out like Tyson Kidd.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like going like, oh man, he had a really stupid haircut. The he did. He looked like a Charlie Brown
did.
character. The
He really did.
but like just seeing how I don't know, maybe it's the nostalgia factor of going back and watching those, but then also seeing the styles change. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like seeing
The evolution
going
of the person and the product.
like it was incredible to watch. I mean, and then I think it was the 2014 Rumble. Hacksaw Jim Duggan came out.
I think that was 13.
Was that
It was
13?
probably 13.
Okay.
Yeah, because in 14 he was actually on the pre-show with Michaels and Flair because my seat got moved in console, and I actually ended up getting like kind of better seats. So
Oh,
Well,
nice.
yeah,
But like that's the thing is like it's insane to watch because you can also go back and watch these Rumbles and really get a view of the roster, especially 2013 was the year of 40 men, right?
No, that was 2011.
Was that 2011? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I see that's the problem is it gets fuzzy for me. I remember big picture stuff. I don't remember like tiny like details until they're brought to my attention. Then I go, oh fuck yeah, that was that. But like the 40-man Rumble, I remember watching that and having it feel like a drag. It felt like it took forever. And I watched it again and it didn't. Like it did not feel like a slog. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That was
So-
also the year of Alberto Del Rio, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, he won the 40-man. And I still go, I remember being at your house for that one. I remember because we were like, really?
Yep.
Like,
That too.
Yeah.
What front in church? We're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there was no pop. Even the second time after Santino Marella came in and
Yeah.
like
'Cause it was
he had to throw him out and there was no pop, none. Like everyone was like, "Oh. All right."
So let's hear from the other jokers. What Rumbles, and I'm talking about the actual Rumble matches yourself. Like, what Rumbles stand out in your mind as like your favorites?
I'll just say this. Unfortunately, like I don't remember watching a whole lot of Rumbles. So like nothing in particular stands out for me. I'm gonna have to go back and watch some because like everything kind of always like it's everything kind of blurs together for me. But like I said, I mean, 14 stands out for me not because of it being a good Rumble match, but just because I was there and got to experience it. So there's that for me. But obviously, like a favorite, like one of my favorite Rumble moments, like Poot said, is Shawn Michaels skinning the cat and coming back up over and eliminating Bulldog and winning. I thought it was I thought a really cool Rumble moment was whenever they had China get involved actually.
Mhm.
Because it was groundbreaking, I mean, she did a lot of groundbreaking stuff, and obviously they didn't keep that momentum moving forward with the women for quite some time.
Eons.
Yeah. But
Long time.
yeah, but I'm trying to think of anything recently, because honestly, I think of like even pre-COVID, like the last 2 or 3 Rumbles weren't like real surprise heavy, so there wasn't any like OMG moments for me that I can think of. I personally like the Kofi spots. I just think it is really cool and really inventive to see, how's he gonna do, like, bunny hopping on a fucking chair.
They're okay, but here's the thing: they're overdone, and now he does them, and John Morrison does them.
Well,
and
that's the
Casey
thing.
Catanzaro does them.
Okay, but everybody else copied off of Kofi. Like, yeah, I get it; it's overplayed, but
To be fair, Morrison did it first.
Okay,
Morrison
fair
did
enough.
do it first.
You're not wrong.
Fair enough. But I'd liked seeing specifically. I'd liked seeing whenever Kofi would do them and see like how's he going to do it. Because I think in 14 he if I'm not mistaken, Rusev actually like gave him like kind of an atomic drop, and he was on the outside barrier.
Yep.
And technically his feet never touched the floor, so he ran from the barrier and jumped onto the side of the ring apron, which was really cool to see.
No stairs. He went from fucking crowd barrier to corner of ring. That was very impressive. Probably the most impressive he's done, I think.
I think that and the bunny hop. Well, I mean, the handstand's pretty fucking impressive.
The bunny hop, I'm surprised worked, because like there was so much that could have went wrong with that one.
Yeah.
Ransom, what about you? What are some of your favorite Rumbles and/or Rumble moments?
My 2 favorite Rumbles by far are oldies but goodies. The 98 Rumble, I love that. I can watch that Rumble match over and over again. I've watched it over and over again. I almost know who's coming out at every entrance. I loved it. It was, to me, like the epitome of what a Royal Rumble should be. Like that right there was it. I also loved the 92 Royal Rumble that Flair won for the belt, because I got to see younger versions of Attitude Era superstars kind of, pop in and out. There are some old heads, but by far the most entertaining part of that Royal Rumble was Bobby Heenan on commentary,
It's
freaking out. It's not fair to Flair.
I love it.
Every time something happened to Flair, every time he took a move, Bobby Heenan.
You could hear him sweating. You could hear Heenan sweating. Oh my god.
Yes, he would lose his mind every time Flair took a hit. And then whenever the ring would start to clear and there would be a break, you can hear Bobby Heenan screaming to Flair, "Get in the corner! Take a break, Rick! Take a break! Get a breather! Take a break! Suck on that oxygen! Get that oxygen there! Take a break!" It was so fun. I could listen to that Rumble over and over again. Bobby Heenan is hilarious the whole way through. And then when Flair wins it, he loses his mind. It's so fun. I have so much fun watching that Rumble. Half because of the in-ring action, half because of freaking Bobby Heenan. What a treasure.
It's not fair to Flair. It's like those 2 Rumbles that you picked out, Ransom, are 2 of the ones that have like the marquee like sounds. Like the Heenan, "It's not fair to Flair" every like 3 seconds was wonderful. And then I believe 98 was the Stone Cold's going to WrestleMania, right?
Yes.
At the end? Yep.
That was also the one where freaking JR coined that Jim Cornette is a stain on the underwear of...
Yes. Staying on the underwear of life. Yes. Him and Jeff Jarrett. Oh my god.
Right? Yep. My favorites were 92. Yes, definitely. My favorite moment of that match was probably the end, where Hogan, like Sid got rid of Hogan, and Hogan was holding like Sid's arm, like, fucking yanking him, and Flair just comes in and goes whoop. Like that was one of the best heel ways to win a Rumble in history. And my other favorite is actually, believe it or not, is 2005. That's the year of the infamous double elimination with Batista and Cena. which was,
And Vince double eliminated his
Yep.
quads.
Vince
Oh my
fucking
God,
quads. And like I think here's where I'm landing on the ending. I think the ending was planned. I think the double elimination was all part of the script. However, Vince blowing his quads out was not. So, like,
That was scripted.
Vince knew.
Yeah,
that
he's
he
like,
had-
gonna go out there and blow my quads on the edge of the ring.
He
Vince,
did it on
Mr.
purpose.
He
Vince,
took
Mr.
training from Nash on that one.
Vince, Mr. I can't sneeze in front of everybody, knew that he had a fucking like a linchpin role in the end of this match, and that he was gonna stand in the ring stately and make his decree. Blows out his quads, and then he's just sitting there like a fucking defiant child because he's like, I can't stand and look like a powerful man. Like, he just sits there, and you can see how absolutely pissed off he is.
Just fucking incredulous. Just
But
like
the reason I love the 2005 Rumble is because you can see the true passing of the torch from what was the Ruthless Aggression era to like the Cena, Orton, like that whole thing, to where the business would be going. 98's a great example of that too. And 92 as well, because you can start to see those cogs start to move. But I think 2005 is the best example of that. My favorite moments outside of those two Rumbles has to be the Sermon on the Mount, the Sermon on the Mount in 2010.
oh, dude,
with
every
Punk.
every year, whenever I was able to come. Well, this year obviously I can't, but every other year, I would always say, "Beef, we got to watch Sermon on the Mount."
Oh my god, it's just so good. Punk is such a great performer that he was pulling basically double duty. He's like, hey, not only am I going to go out there and entertain you in the ring, but I'm going to go out there and entertain you on the stick too. This is how you do it, rookies. And like that was such a really cool spot that has not been replicated since, and I don't think ever will be, because you got to have a guy like Punk who has the fucking cojones that can go out and run with that. So that's top tier for me, man.
I'm gonna have to go watch
honest.
that one for sure.
It's really good.
So Ransom, you said you had another thought on Royal Rumbles, please. The floor.
I have a big problem with the Royal Rumble.
What?
I have a big problem. And it's a problem that I think the cheese stands alone in this group of four, I have a feeling. We've talked about it already. It's the stupid spot monkey non-eliminations. I fucking hate them. I hate it. I don't know where the stupid idea came from, but I freaking hate it. It's my problem. I get it, because I'm not doing what I should be doing and suspending realism. That's my problem. Damn you! But it's not. I'm not doing it. I don't know why. The stupid rule. It's stupid. Both feet have to touch the ground. Every damn wrestler can legit get eliminated, but just keep their feet up in the air. They can land on their ass, their back, their head. It doesn't matter. As long as your stupid feet don't touch the ground, you're fucking going.
They're back.
You just land on your stupid back and do little wiggly wiggles over to the steps, and then flip yourself up backwards on the steps. How dumb is that? That is so stupid.
I agree with
Look at how many people get eliminated and they land on their back.
Yeah.
They have all the time in the world for their feet not to touch the floor. Every stupid wrestler should see all the stupid times that Kofi Kingston, or Jeff Hardy, or John Morrison, or Jingleberry.
Jingleberry. I hate it when Jingleberry does his spot monkey bullshit. Fuck you, Jingleberry.
Get knocked out of the ring and land on something other than their feet. Hell, if you were a smart wrestler, you would get knocked out of the ring, land on your back, get up on your knees, because knees aren't feet, then stand up on 1 foot and just 1 foot hop back to the apron and jump back in the ring. Every damn wrestler can do it, except for The Undertaker when he flips over the ring and lands on both feet. It's so dumb.
Nope, Ransom, I'm
Kofi
right there
is
with
the
you, buddy.
only one who can figure out he needs to land on something other than his feet. Nobody else can figure this out. It's a ridiculous rule. You get knocked over the top rope and you land on the floor, you should be fucking eliminated. Not both feet need to touch the ground. Zach Gowen would never be eliminated from the Rumble. Never.
God.
He's a damn shoo-in to win the Royal Rumble.
Oh, no, the pun.
Because he can't, by the rules, be eliminated.
Oh, Jesus.
So here's the thing. So with the impetus of this, it was Johnny Moe getting eliminated, getting knocked off the apron, hitting the barricade, and then like basically bouncing back, if I'm remembering correctly.
He jumped, grabbed the barricade, his feet like pinched into the fluffiness of the barricade. He climbed, feet never came close to the floor. He got up on the barricade, walked across, and then jumped to the stairs and back in the ring. So that I feel like is okay.
I'll give that one a pass.
No, I won't, because here's the thing.
I will.
The Kofi one where he hit his hands and he did a handstand, that's fine.
It's not. You're completely out of the ring. You're on the floor.
But here's the thing: if you're walking on the barricade, if you're walking on the steps, if you're walking on a fucking bungalow 30 miles away, and then take a fucking limo and then fucking get parachuted in, then you know what? Like you're walking around on the outside. Like
then fine. Anytime you get knocked out of the ring, then whether you land on apron or whether you land on barricade, floor, JBL, Big E, it shouldn't matter. You should be done.
I agree.
Yeah, stupid.
I agree. No, 100%. Like once you're over the top rope, I get why it's there so you can create goofy shit. Like with the fucking Rosebuds, whenever Adam Rose was eliminated and they fell on the Rosebuds and they brought him back to the ring. Like I understand that that's what that rule is there for, but realistically, it was there for the Shawn Michaels thing. Not 1 foot, but both feet. And we've gone in a ridiculous direction. I am on board, Ransom.
See, I was fine with the Shawn Michaels thing because 1 foot hit the ground, but he wasn't completely off of the ring. He was still holding onto the ropes. If Shawn Michaels had landed with 1 foot on the ground and 1 foot on the barricade, I'd have a problem with that. My problem is that he was still in contact with the ring at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But all these people that are clearly have been knocked out of the ring and off of the apron, that's where my issues start.
Okay, so I will say this, just to devil's advocate you two, okay?
Yeah.
I agree with you, it gets outlandish. Like, for example, even though it was pretty impressive, because I don't know if you've ever tried to stand on one of those office chairs, you feel like you're going to die every millisecond you're on the sumbitch. So, like, when he did the hoppy across the ground thing, come on, that was impressive, and he didn't touch the floor. Now, but here's the thing. They make it wildly and abundantly clear both feet have to hit the floor. Now, I'm not saying you guys are wrong in your... because this is the gray area of suspending disbelief, and okay, it's there to be a spot that people can talk about around the water cooler on the following Monday, right?
Right.
But the thing is, they have set the precedent and kept the precedent of if you go through the ropes and you hit the floor, you're not eliminated. If you go over the top rope and only 1 foot touches the floor, you're not eliminated. If you go over the top rope and your hands, you catch your legs on the rope and you're dangling and your hands hit the floor, you're not eliminated. Shawn Michaels, again, I understand your point of he was still in contact with the ring and his 1 foot brushed the floor. But again, 1 foot brushed the floor, that's fine. The thing they haven't done, and this is where I would draw the line, is if someone gets eliminated and they are on the floor and they're hopping on 1 foot to get back in the ring. That's where I would draw the line.
Yeah, I would draw the line there. And
But
sorry if you haven't finished your point.
My final point is they have set the precedent and kept the precedent of both feet must hit the floor. Feet. They have done it, and they have held to it. So I'm just devil's advocating there.
Now I'll agree with you, Poot, and I'll add on to this. The thing that grinds my gears is just as often, you could argue this, just as often as we see the stupid spots like that, is how many times do we see people go through the ropes and then they're there for like half the match and then they make a miraculous, mysterious comeback like at the 11th hour. That happens predictably every fucking Rumble that I can think of now.
Every other one, yeah.
Pretty much. I'm going to say it's happened at every Rumble, definitely within the last 5 years that I can think of.
Here's the thing.
Hold on. So you could argue that that they overplay that just as well. Now I'm with Poot saying that there is a, to a degree, I enjoyed the spots, but yeah, once everybody starts doing it, or you do it, multiple times in like one matchup, it's overkill. So you gotta, having it happen like once a year, having that one big spot that everybody talks about is cool. Have that quote unquote Kofi spot, but having like 2 or 3 or 5 people do it in one Rumble would be fucking ridiculous and overkill. Also, I would say, I personally, I hate whenever somebody gets eliminated and they're outside and then they end up pulling somebody else out or eliminating them. I think that's bullshit. Well,
here's the problem with that is that the lack of consistency and also self-eliminations, the lack of consistency. I think it was 92 or 93. Randy Savage went over the top rope by his own volition to chase out, I think it was Jake the Snake Roberts. And the announcers were like, well, we don't know if he's eliminated or if he's coming back. And he ended up being part of the Final Four that year. So they were like, oh, okay, he can come back in. Because he was not thrown over the top rope, he was not eliminated. But Mil Mascaras in the 97 Rumble.
I was just going to bring that up, but go ahead.
Jumped out on his own and was eliminated.
He went over the top rope, though.
Drew Carey is still technically in the Rumble.
So is McGillicuddy.
Yeah, Curtis Saxon's still in.
By the way, the chair hop thing, not that difficult. I just did it. I just chair hopped my way from one end of the fire hall day room to the other.
Oh my God.
I love it.
I'll take a video of it.
To Tom's point, though, that's what I was gonna.
Someone got schoolyard pissed off there.
That's what I was. That's what I was gonna bring up, is that we can't pull the string too much, because, like Tom said, there have been a number of times where people who have been eliminated come back and cause elimination. Sometimes those eliminations count, like Kane in 2014 when he eliminated CM Punk.
Yeah.
Sometimes those eliminations don't count. I think there was one where Shawn Michaels came back and threw somebody out, and they got back in the ring. It didn't count.
You pick some rules and stick with them.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't stay consistent.
Exactly. If you want to have this fucking weird shit, okay, whatever. I'll roll with it because I understand that some people do enjoy it. I want you to be consistent across the board.
Yes.
And I'm 100% with Ransom on this. Again, I love the Kofi spots because I love Kofi. But by God, let's not be so fucking literal by the rules, huh? 2 feet. Look at the fucking NFL, for example.
Oh no, it's happening.
Oh my God, I'm fucking dying here. The NFL considers a knee 2 feet, or an elbow 2 feet, or a back.
Yeah, the NFL is not the NFL is not WWE.
But they should. If you get thrust out of the ring.
I'm sorry, I'm watching the live video in the Discord.
If you're thrust out of the ring and you land on the outside structure, be it the floor, the apron, or not the apron,
yes.
oh God. But if you land,
wait,
I'm done.
Okay, he's going. He's doing it.
Our dear viewers, what we're missing is our dear Alec Ransom actually doing the Kofi spot. No,
Kofi's had
that's
wheels too. Kofi's had
exactly-
wheels, you big dumb barred bastard.
that's exactly what Kofi did. He did little short fucking bunny hops.
Oh my fuck! Oh yeah, how about that? Oh, sure.
But yeah, I am.
I did. You dickhead.
I am of the opinion that the WWE should treat it like the NFL, like one hip, one butt, one back, one elbow, forearm, whatever, equals 2 feet. Like, that should be the end of it.
Well,
Oh, I have such a wedgie now. Woo!
thank God the video is not on for that. I don't want to see you picking that
Oh,
thing.
I'll show you picking it. I'll pick it. I'll pick it
Oh,
right
God.
now.
You wait till Sunday.
So,
okay, my bad.
what wrestler
Yeah.
winning? I know that we're getting long in the old molar here, but what winning wrestler of the Rumble, pick women, men, whatever, has had the most impact on their career?
Oh, Steve Austin. Steve Austin, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think his King of the Ring win did more to propel him.
I would agree.
Yeah, it's still like, well, King of the Ring.
That's
Definitely,
right.
like,
He was on the path.
King of the Ring
He
lit
was on the path at that point.
I was gonna say King of the Ring lit the fuse. The Rumble win in 98. That year, think about that year after that. The road to WrestleMania with Mike Tyson and everything, and him winning the belt off of Michaels. That's what did it, man. That was the explosion that propelled him to ultra mega star status.
I don't. If you listen to his entrance at that Rumble, I don't think so. The
He's
arena
already mega
erupted.
over. Yep.
He was already over. All of the action in that ring stopped. Every single wrestler stopped wrestling and faced the entranceway to look for him to come down to that ring. He was already over like chowder at that point.
I think WrestleMania 13 with Bret Hart, the double turn, did more for his career than that Rumble win. I think the person who benefited the most from winning the Royal Rumble was probably Becky Lynch, because the WWE learned from the Daniel Bryan situation, where took somebody who was mega over and actually had them win the Royal Rumble. She wasn't in the Royal Rumble, but she came out and she took Lana's spot.
Yeah.
Battled hard, and then she main evented WrestleMania and fucking beat Ronda Rousey. So, to me, I think that Becky Lynch is the person who has absolutely benefited the most, and I hope that she comes back, because I love Becky Lynch. I think she's entertaining as hell, and I would love to see her come back. But yeah, I think that absolutely propelled her to the fucking stratosphere.
That's a fair assessment. I'd agree with Becky Lynch. I mean, you could definitely argue it. I was gonna say with like in regards to Stone Cold, like King of the Ring, like lit the fire. The Royal Rumble may have put some gasoline on the fire that was already lit. I mean, like King of the Ring for Austin, like that coined the Austin 316 movement. I mean, just that like that was just that was amazing just because of how organic it was. That's literally the definition of catching the lightning in a bottle right there. But yeah, I'm with you on that one, Beef. I'd say Becky Lynch definitely benefited really, really well from that. Again, this is like one of those things because I can't, like, I need to go back and watch some Rumble matches and really, really see. Like, I enjoy it. It's definitely one of my favorites, but like nothing, like they all kind of blended together over some of the years and stuff like that. I can't pick out a single thing.
Batista, I think, was another one, by the way. 05, when he...
I was going to say, not 14.
No. 05, whenever it was him and Cena and the double elimination, that whole thing. Like, I think that absolutely made both of them. But, like, that really started the completion of his story with Triple H and Evolution. Like, that, I think, was the thing that was the last push that Big Dave needed to become an absolute superstar. So I think Becky Lynch and Big Dave are the two that I would say have had the absolute most impact from the Rumble win.
You know, I have a hard time thinking outside of those two, because whenever I think of past Rumble win, and I can't remember, God, good Lord, I can't remember them all. But anytime I think of past Rumble winners, I always think of who were already kind of like right there. Mm-hmm. Like they won and you went, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like they were already pretty much pretty much over. And I can't really think of a good example
Sheamus
outside of those two picks.
Sheamus
so?
kind of, but I mean, like, then they gave him a fucking like 18-second WrestleMania match. I think Sheamus's year winning was more about not having Jericho win and more about having Sheamus win. I don't know, like
Jericho would have been that. I watched that one recently too. That would have been, man, if Jericho would have won. Oh,
that's the only thing he hasn't done. And
I was going to ask you that. I couldn't remember if he won a Rumble.
Nope.
Well,
that's the only thing, that and King of the Ring is the only thing he hasn't done.
Dude, Jericho, you said?
Yeah, and plus, like, the whole shtick, his shtick upon coming back was saying that he's the best in the world at what he does versus CM Punk being the best in the world. Nothing legitimizes saying I'm the best in the world at what I do than winning the Royal Rumble. So I think that they really dick that one up real bad too.
So bear with me, if you will. If you will, I actually pulled up the list of like Royal Rumble winners. So as I'm just gonna run through them, and if something jumps out at you after I'm done, like you can say if it really propelled. But I'm kind of, I think Ransom's right in the case of like.
Yep, he's 100% right.
Like okay, Jim Duggan.
I could probably give it to you. I could probably give it to you year by year without even.
Yeah. Okay. Well, calm down there, Flex McGee. I got the list in front of me.
Flex McGee.
Fuck you. Okay, fine. Fuck you. Duggan. Big John Studd. Hogan.
Wow.
No. Wrong.
Hogan. Hold on. I have a method. I'm not going in
Count
order.
how many he gets wrong, Tom.
Go ahead, Tom, with your fucking Wikipedia that you don't watch fucking Royal Rumbles, but you got Wikipedia. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, yeah, because I don't watch it.
Easy,
Jesus Christ, I'm
beef.
not trying to flex.
Easy. Wow. Damn, bro. We know you're good. Like,
yeah, geez,
yeah, we know you're good. I'll tell you what, Tom. How about that? All right, hold on. Hold on, Tom. Tom, hold on. Let's
WWE Royal Rumble.
All right.
Dare you?
How about this?
Yeah, go ahead.
We let him start at the beginning. If he gets 3 strikes, we stop and read it off the Wikipedia. How's that? Sound fair, beef?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
All right, go.
Duggan. Stud. Hogan. I thought Hogan won back-to-back. God, I wish I could remember the years. Flair. Yokozuna. Bret Hart / Lex Luger. Diesel. Michaels. Austin.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. No, you're right. Sorry. The way they have it listed was weird. Go on.
Okay. Austin, McMahon, Austin. Wait.
Nope.
No.
Wrong.
Rock was after McMahon. And then Austin. Oh, God. 02. Triple H. 03. 03. Was that? Fuck. 03. Lesnar. 04 was Benoit. 05 was Batista. 06 was, oh God, I just watched this. Mysterio. 7 was
Big John Studd.
Triple H. 8 was.
That's 3.
Was it? Okay.
Okay. So you actually, whenever I went to give you the strike sound the very first time around, when you said Hogan, again, it was because of the way that Wikipedia has it listed. So you were right. You did damn good. You got all the way up to 06 there. 07 was Undertaker. 08 was Cena. Then Orton, Edge, Del Rio, Sheamus, Cena, Batista, Roman Reigns in 15, Triple H, Randy Orton. Then in 2018, you had Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka. They have Greatest Royal Rumble on here. Yeah, whatever. We're not counting. 2019, you had Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Kind of cool. And then 2020, you had Charlotte Flair and Drew McIntyre.
I will say, I think Beef deserves a round of applause for how well.
Oh
he
yeah,
did.
no, he does.
No, like
he
that-
did-
Good job. Good job.
No, like, so like, that's the thing is like, when you were listening that off, the only thing that jumped out at me, I was like, man, remember when Nakamura was revered?
Oh,
yeah.
Like, I hate to
That's
say
a
that because
shame.
I love Nakamura. I really do. Like, I very much enjoy Nakamura, but like, damn, dude, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck. Like,
I'd say honestly, I'm with Ransom in the line of thinking that like that pretty much the people that won were kind of already over.
it just knocked
except-
him into another like tax bracket, effectively.
Maybe
Time zone.
the only one I could argue for, and maybe it's just because I wasn't watching during that time, would maybe be Mysterio. I don't know, because I don't know how over he was whenever he came in.
I think that was because
Like-
of Eddie.
Yep, 100% Eddie.
You think?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I mean that, or maybe Benoit at that point in 04. Because
Benoit was a good call, yeah, but we don't talk about him because he's persona non
we
grata.
can because we're not fucking
No, I agree.
dumb. Yeah.
Well.
But anyways, I really, this is actually, now I'm looking at the stats here. It's like, male Royal Rumble winners championship opportunity for the WWE Championship success rate has been a .556, World Heavyweight Championship .714, Universal 1.0. So like I was looking at, I was actually kind of curious to see like how many people that have won the Rumble have they all gone on to win or not? You know what I mean? Like, because it says WWE Championship 10, it's 10-8, World Heavyweight Championship 5-2, and Universal Championship is 1-0. So
wow, that I think a lot of why we love the Rumble is because of the old cliche they like to throw out where anything can happen. I mean,
Yeah.
do you remember when, first of all, when they fucked up the camera, whenever Styles debuted? Oh my God. What a pop. What a moment. That was,
Oh, yeah.
That was so big. Man, I remember sitting there and they had the camera trained on Roman Reigns. We're listening to the music, and Beef and I kind of looked at each other and we were like, what? Like we were confused. And when it came out and you saw him hunker down with that hood on, I'm never going to forget how excited Beef was. Oh my God. I thought you were legit, and we joke about it all the time. I legitimately thought you were going to have a heart attack. Like you were so hype.
That was the moment that like really reinforced the anything can happen, because to me, I'm just throwing it out there for you guys now. That was like the moment that made me go, holy shit, this guy's from fucking Impact. I and from Ring of Honor, one of my favorite indie guys. I can't believe he's here. That was the moment, and that I think is why I have such a tough time with the Royal Rumble, because I do have lofty aspirations and beliefs in the Royal Rumble, and that's it kills me to be like Bad News Beefy and have to like be like, okay guys, here's what you should reasonably expect, because I want to be the guy that's like, oh my God, what if fucking Moose shows up, but
His contract's not done till June, I think.
he has a title.
It's one of those. It's not a real title. It's like the old TNA title.
Yeah,
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought maybe he was the grand champion or whatever.
No.
They have
It's like it's like the Ric Flair shtick of like the real world's champion.
Yeah.
okay.
But so like there are those moments that I look at and I latch on to. The moment that Ric Flair came from WCW and won the WWE Championship in the '92. When the new guys got the rub in 05, when the person who actually deserved to win in Becky Lynch won, when AJ Styles did, like, there are these moments that absolutely I latch on to and I go, this gives me hope for the future. And it's just like, I want to believe in the business all over again, but it's,
Well,
it's dangerous for me to do so, because every time I believe in the business, it always bites me in the ass.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we, because we are legit getting really long in the tooth here. Why don't we throw out our one favorite Rumble member, like when I say the Royal Rumble, the one thing that pops into your mind. We'll just go around, do it, and then we'll GTFO. By the way, you know what? I'll save that for the outro. Why don't we start with Ransom? I kind of want to hear what Ransom has to say on this one.
Mine is the Three Faces of Foley.
The what?
The
Three Faces of Foley. Oh, okay.
Rumble.
That was really creative. That was awesome.
I'll go next. I'll say it's simply for me, like when I think Royal Rumble, I think Shawn Michaels skinning the cat.
Beef?
Oh, probably Vince McMahon blowing out his quads. Yeah, I'll go unconventional. And I'll say Edge's return. Not last year, but the one previous, where he threw out Jericho after being off for a long, long time. I've never wanted a guy to get something like that in his career. So I love Edge, and it was fucking due for him. So yeah, that's a big one for me.
Just to be because I think of like quite a few pop in my head. The first one, honestly, is Shawn Michaels skinning the cat. However, recently the one that pops into my head is Styles' debut because it was really a big deal. I knew about AJ Styles and I'd watched his stuff, but I was and I knew a little bit about his work in Japan at the time. This was at the time. But now I think about it and it's just it's magic. It's that magic moment. Like Beef said, it's that moment I think of just like how the I Am Phenomenal on the Titantron, like it. Yeah, I can't say more about it. It was just absolutely awesome, guys.
Let me do one more thing, Poot. One more. This is Beef's moment of zen for you. Completely Rumble unrelated, but Topanga is a fan of not only AEW but also PWG. So for all of us like myself out there who had the biggest crush in the world on Topanga, for her to support that awesome wrestling, thumbs up.
Right?
Who said
Dude.
anything about had?
I'm
Yo,
married,
she's still
so.
thick.
I would.
I would too.
Stop clinging to that excuse to say that people are attractive nowadays. Stop it.
Okay,
Never.
cool. All right. Anyway, guys, Rumble weekend this weekend. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens for good or for worse. Looking at you, Goldberg. But it's still going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to next week when we talk about this stuff because it's either going to be one of three things. It's either going to be cold, where we're all just full of vitriol and angry and yelling, screaming about how WWE never does anything right. We're going to go, it was okay. Or they're going to make all the right decisions, which, let's be honest, is not really likely. But we'll see what happens. Want to go ahead and thank the sponsors now. Thank you to our very own casual gaming dad himself, Mr. Tiger.
Uppercut.
Bomb Tom and his page, Casual Gaming Dad, over on Facebook. Join Casual Gaming Dad's Corner if you would. It's his community over there. And like Casual Gaming Dad on Facebook and watch his streams. Recently, you've been running what? Metroid Prime 2?
So I've been running on the weekly. I usually run Monday night Mario Kart, Tuesday night Among Us. Wednesday night, we're going to change up World War Z and try to figure out something else co-op that we can run. Been doing Metroid Prime 2 playthrough. I'm on like part 7 of that. Or actually, I just did part 7 today. Been doing some Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. And then every week, you can also catch me doing some retro stuff for the Facebook Retro Gaming League. This week's game is Batman on the NES, and I have not practiced it at all. So it's going to be terrible.
I'm sure it'd be absolutely great. And you should check it out. Also, you can find him streaming on YouTube and Twitch under Casual Gaming Dad and Casual Gaming Dad 84. Also want to thank Mr. Sean Tischler and his work with IWC. And we're looking forward to when everything really, really pops off again with indie wrestling because it is an absolute blast. And we are lucky to have the roster and IWC around here. It's really cool to watch them on social media preparing for returns and keep working on their careers. Looking at you, Mambo Italiano. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And I also want to tell you to go and subscribe to Frig Off Ransom on YouTube. Alec Ransom, our very own Madman, Mad King, and maybe, just maybe, Mad Champ soon again. Who knows? I think it could happen. You go and give his YouTube page a subscribe because he is hilarious and spends a good, just a crazy amount of time editing, and it's hilarious, and he's just very funny. So go check him out. Also, make sure that you go ahead and why not go on over while you're on YouTube and subscribe to Poot the Bard as well. You can watch my gear reviews and my gaming as well. It's a lot of fun over there. Don't upload or have as much content as these other two schmucks, but I got a lot of irons in the fire with editing. As far as my other podcast as well, Tone Bros Podcast, you can find us on YouTube. And also soon, hopefully, Beef, we're gonna have your raw is what is it? Raw is beef, beef is raw.
Yeah, beef is raw.
Oh yes, so thrilling.
I'm so excited about it.
You're never getting the videos. It's never happening.
It's never gonna happen. Well, now creative.
I promise it's gonna happen. At some point, it will happen.
Creative control is just in my realm now, so you're gonna get what you're gonna get.
No.
Anyway, make sure you check. Keep an eye out for that on Facebook. It is coming very soon. He's gonna review the weekly cereals.
It's coming.
Okay, and that was abrasive. Thank you, Otis. Anyway, thank you guys, and make sure, of course, you go over to YouTube and subscribe to the Pittsburgh Pile Driver Podcast. We put up videos there every week of our episodes, and also we throw up a thing we call Breaking Kayfabe Lounge, where we just talk about life and other things outside of wrestling. Give us a like over on Facebook as well, and find the audio version of the podcast anywhere your podcasts are available. Things like Spotify, things like Google Podcasts, things like iTunes. We're on iTunes now, so make sure you find us on there. And guys, think I'm gonna get away. Think I'm gonna get away for a little bit and just distance myself from gimmicks. You know what I mean? I would probably distance myself from weekly jokes and gimmicks as far away as Pittsburgh is from North Carolina. Thank you very much. That wasn't a very good one. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. For myself, Poot the Bard, baby, Mr. Beef the Legend, the Madman Alec Ransom, and our reigning, defending, undisputed, Chooserweight Champion, Mr. Tigerbomb Tom. Have a lovely evening, day, and Rumble weekend.
Gay frogs. Gay frogs.